Hello and welcome to today's video. Sorry if this voiceover is a bit clunky, I'm testing something new and I ask you please bear with me. I thought I'd start this video off with an introduction. Hi, my name is Kale and I'm the owner of two pet rats, Venus and Mars. Some backstory for this video is that my rats typically accompany me while I'm painting or working on any project, which you'll see in these clips. My rat Mars is definitely better at sitting for extended periods of time, while Venus is a little bit more rambunctious or inquisitive, to put it politely. I decided I wanted to make my rats feel very special and be super enriched by making them their own art studio to make paintings of their own today. I hope this video finds you well during the holiday season and that it brings you a source of comfort and enjoyment. Let's get started. Supplies for this project includes various scrap garbage. The base consists of this cardboard box and scrap foam board. This project is also very popsicle stick and hot glue heavy. I start by first cutting off the front face of the box. Next, I'm cutting off the rounded ends of popsicle sticks in order to make wooden planks for floorboards. Now it's time to play rat carpenter and place all those wooden planks down for a wood flooring. I glue down each plank, cutting some shorter in size to create a variation in the floorboards pattern. I typically stain my wood flooring or popsicle stick projects with a little bit of watered down acrylic paint to make it seem as if the wood is a little bit stained or varnished, but I like the natural look right here. Mars acts as my supervisor to make sure my work is up to his standards. Here I'm just finishing the flooring. Next I hold up pieces of scrapbook paper to see what I want to be put as my wallpaper for the walls. I decided against painting the walls because I thought it would take too much paint and it would just take too long to dry. Plus, I think this is a safer option for my rats anyways. I use hot glue for this as opposed to any kind of Elmer's glue or tacky glue because I feel like that normally makes paper bubble up and I wanted this to be pretty smooth, so I thought hot glue was my best option here. I also feel like hot glue is just so much quicker and I didn't want this to take forever, so. You can see here we have like ugly gapping between the floor and the wall, which no worries, we're about to fix that in the next step. I made baseboard with popsicle sticks. I just thought it was easy and it wasn't that large of a gap. Now's the fun part, is where we fill it with the furniture and the little decorative items and just kind of make it feel cozy and more welcoming. Most of the furniture I put in here are leftover from another miniature project I work on. Everything in here I think is from Hobby Lobby. The easel is just a desktop easel that's used for normal painting. The little furniture is in the miniature section in Hobby Lobby. It's by like the dollhouse stuff, but I ended up putting in this little artist like desk table set that all comes together, and then they have little dressers that are like $1. They're just made of unfinished wood. I really like these windows, but I didn't want to just glue them straight onto the wallpaper because I didn't think it looked realistic enough. But I also really didn't want to cut out another hole in the back of this because I already placed the wallpaper up and it was already kind of a pain in the butt to cut the door out because I don't have an X-Acto knife anymore. So I'm going to end up making a backdrop for the windows. Here I am just painting the backdrop for the windows. I wanted it to be kind of like a foresty scene in the background, just kind of muted tones, nothing super detailed because it's getting covered by a window anyways. And it's for rats. So, yeah. I'm just putting this on normal sketchbook paper and I'm using watercolor to paint this. And with watercolor, you always want to start lightest first because you obviously can't build on top of dark with watercolor. So I start with a blue background and then I just add like a swampy green and get progressively darker, and I think the last one I add is like a dark gray as my last layer. Also, sorry, I'm clearly very biased. I love a painting montage. I then check that there's enough detail in the painting by holding up the windowsill to the painting itself to see if enough is peeking through or if I want to add more detail. Next, I'm just adding glue to that window frame and we're going to add the painting on the back. Then we're just going to add glue on the back of this window and just smash it right on that wall. The room still felt pretty stark, so I wanted to add a little bit of bookshelves to the wall, just so I could add a lot of character and impact and detail in a really small space. I'm also extremely plant obsessed, so of course I have to put quite a few houseplants in this little miniature as well. Next, I'm just adding these books I made by cutting small squares out of popsicle sticks, and then I glued a strip of paper around it, cut to size, and then on the spine of the book I just added gold detailing with a little bit of paint. Like I said, plant obsessed, so I needed to add another. Now it's time to show it off to the rats and see what they think. I am hard launching my new rat Nectar here. He's very sweet, he's about 3 months old, he's very rambunctious and still has that baby energy, super energetic. As you can tell, he's very food driven, so I think he likes this area just because there's a bunch of treats in it. Next up is my rat Mars. He seems to appreciate every little detail in here. And last but certainly not least is Venus. I can tell he really enjoyed his art studio because he has marked it 3 or 4 times just while recording this specific shot right here. He peed everywhere. That was my polite way of saying he peed everywhere. Now the main reason for all this, painting time. I let Nectar select his color first. And to my surprise, he picks orange, which just doesn't seem like his personality to me. I will say orange is definitely his color. Also, sorry, you're going to notice quite a few shots are a little bit out of focus. My camera has a very difficult time making a distinction on the details of Nectar and Mars's face. I think my favorite detail of this whole project is adding the little portraits of Venus and Mars that I had done previously in my past videos. I just think it's a really fun touch. Next is Venus to have his paint selection. I think this boy knew exactly what he wanted right before he got placed down because he knocked that purple over like his life depended on it. And lastly, it's time for Mars to select his paint. Pretty quickly, he seems to only have interest in the yellow paint. I think it's definitely a good selection for him. And finally, painting time. I put a canvas in a Ziploc bag with dabs of paint, the orange for nectar for right now, and then I put treats on top so you can kind of stomp around and splotch the color around. He also for a second is too excited to even acknowledge the treat, which I think is a win in itself. Kind of a rat fun fact if you're thinking about getting a rat for the first time. When rats are this age, from 1 to about 4 months old, you want to load them up with a lot of extra protein, which is why you see Nectar gets a lot of extra chickpeas for a snack. You can definitely see he has a minimalist approach to painting because he really stays in that one corner. I also tried a little bit of peanut butter as a treat to see if he'd lick a little more or roam around the page a little more. It didn't work too well, but I still think he enjoyed it. I'm super shocked. I thought he'd go nuts for peanut butter, but you can see he's more interested in my hand here. And finally it piques his interest a little. He's also like a mega escape artist, so I knew it was time to switch it up. Next up is Bean, and he takes absolutely no time to get right to work. This is the reaction I was expecting from peanut butter. but it didn't seem to hold his attention very long. Lastly, we have Mars. He can really sense when he's on camera because he always hams it up. And again, a little bit more success with the peanut butter from Mars. And I decided to put the older boys in together because I feel like a lot of the time they bring their personalities out of one another. I think Mars is definitely the most natural born artist out of the three. Here you could see me wiping up P from Venus again, because this boy loves to mark everything. But that never stops Mars from having fun, and I think that's why they're a perfect match for each other. Now it's time to show the boys what they made. Immediately you could see Neptune's very excited about his work, and he should be. He's only 3 months old, and look at this masterpiece he's helped create. Next up is Mars, and well, he's a little bit grubbier, so he went for the snack first, which I can't blame him. And with the right mindset, he's ready to look at his work. Next up we have Venus. He too is pretty distracted and not super interested in the painting. but I think it's because he's humble and he doesn't want to show how excited he is about his work. And here's all 3 boys with their work. As you can see, Venus and Neptune are definitely the rambunctious pair of the 3. I think this was a super fun bonding experience, not just for me and the rats, but the rats themselves. Neptune's still pretty new to the bunch, and I don't know, they seem to have a lot of fun, and I think treats definitely help bring them closer. I also think this was a fun new experience for them, especially because they have their typical playpen, and you can only switch it up so much. It's fun to make these kind of activities, keep your rat well enriched. I hope this video was able to bring you some kind of comfort and enjoyment. I had a ton of fun. I think this is a really, really good project to do if you have pet rats yourself. You know, the lifespan of a pet rat isn't too terribly long, and you want to enjoy every second you have, and I think this is a nice, fun project or activity to do with them. Thank you so much to Alaina again for making this wonderful music that I use in my videos. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really do hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!